The weather is turning fast, and it's getting cold. So let's talk about how to dress appropriately for cold and wet weather, and what things can happen if you aren't prepared for it or the weather turns severe. First, cold weather is like hot weather in that you need to stay hydrated and keep your body functioning properly. In cold, drink drinks like electrolyte drinks rather than caffeinated drinks like coffee, tea, or sodas. Eat warm meals of high-calorie foods. Hot pasta dishes are great. You know we have a zero-tolerance policy about alcohol on the job site, but beyond that, the combination of alcohol and cold weather can be very dangerous and even lethal. Think about that next time you're in your tree stand, duck blind, or ice fishing house. Now, layer your clothing. The first layer over your cotton t-shirt and shorts should be thermal underwear made of cotton, polypropylene, or one of the materials that whisk moisture away from your body. Keeping moisture away from your body will make you much more comfortable and warmer. The next layer should be an insulating layer. Wool is great for this layer. Wool really holds in your body heat and is one of the few materials that retains its heat-holding ability when wet. You could also use fleece or a heavy sweatshirt. Lined thermal pants or thermal bib overalls are great. Now, if you're starting to get bulky, you should consider using suspenders rather than a belt to avoid constriction. Now, you can add more layers according to the conditions you'll be working in. But remember, several layers of light clothing are better than one bulky layer. The outer layer should be wind and waterproof. This layer needs to do two things to keep you warm. First, it's got to keep moisture, water, snow, or slush from getting in to soak your inner layers and taking away their heat-retaining ability. Second, it's got to prevent the wind from driving away the warm layer of air between the inner layers and your skin. Remember when you've been caught in the rain and gotten soaked to the skin, and even though the outside temperature wasn't very cold, it made you feel like it was really cold. That's what we're trying to avoid. Keeping your feet and head warm are critical. Use good, high-wool socks. Good ones will cost a bit more, but will pay for themselves many times over. Your work boots should be insulated, waterproof, not water-resistant, and with rubber bottoms. Avoid anything tight like high-elastic socks or high boots or tight boots because you don't want to restrict blood flow. You all work with your hands, so it's critical that you protect them and keep them warm. Insulated work gloves with liners will generally provide enough insulation and protection, but in severely cold weather, mittens will do a better job than gloves because they use your body heat more effectively. But mittens are harder to work with, so you have to make that call as to which will work best for you. It's also helpful to use chemical hand warmers between your glove liner and glove, or even inside your boots. Your neck is an area where you can lose a lot of heat through exposure to wind or having a poor fit between the collar of your coat and neck. Turtleneck shirts are a good way to protect your neck, as are hooded sweatshirts. Another great way to protect your neck and seal your collar is a pullover neck gaiter. And the gaiter does what a scarf would do, but without the risk of a scarf getting caught in moving machinery. Your head may be the most important part of your body to keep comfortable for two reasons. First, your head has a good bit of surface area and doesn't have much insulation. That adds up to a lot of possible heat loss. Secondly, as your blood cools down, it will cool the brain down, and that will slow your thought process and motor skills. And you all know on our job sites, you have to be at the top of your game at all times, or you or someone else can get hurt. There are specially made skull caps that fit under your hard hat that work great. The skull cap doesn't restrict movement or vision. Hoods or masks are also good, but they can restrict movement and vision. The old wool stocking cap will also keep you warm, like the skull cap, but the skull cap will keep your give your hard hat the best fit. Now make sure that any solution you use covers your ears and covers down the back of your neck as far as practicable to keep you comfortable. So when planning for cold weather, remember to keep your core warm by layering under your jacket. Keep your extremities, feet, hands, and head covered also in layers where possible, and get as waterproof as possible. Clothes that are waterproof generally also do a good job of keeping the heat-stealing wind away from your body. Lastly, keep spare dry clothes in your vehicle in case you need additional layers or in case you get wet. Anytime you get wet in the cold, it can get dangerous, so get out of the wet clothes and into the dry as soon as possible. Okay, let's get to work and stay warm and dry out there.